to another episode of Saving Hospitality. We are excited to have another amazing guest with us. My name is Sue Keels. So again, welcome everyone. And
I'm Eileen Meringue.
hi,
So
Eileen. It's good to see you.
excited about this. I know I'm super excited about this guest. I don't think I've seen him in a long time.
And we work together. Another opening of a hotel. Like once you open up a hotel with someone, you bond, right, for a lifetime. So without further ado, I would like to we would like to introduce Fadi. Hi, Fadi. How are you?
Well, hello, ladies. Great to see both of you and talking to you, especially Eileen. I haven't talked to her in how many years now? 15? I don't know. I stopped, but
Right?
I kept up on her on social media and traveling all over the world. It was great to see her success continued for so many years. Good to see you guys.
It's good to
Yeah.
see you. Fadi, can you share with our audience, just tell us a little bit about your amazing hospitality journey and your current beautiful country club, and just share. We would love to hear more.
So you have about 5 hours to spare, or
The quick 3 minute
you know,
share.
I'm not as young as Eileen. I have to go back way back. But anyway, I mean, really, my hospitality journey, it was not meant to be on hospitality. When I was going to college back in California, in Carmel, Monterey area, most beautiful places probably I've been to. So I needed a job. I mean, really, it's just out of, okay, what do I do? How do I pay for college? And my parents, okay, they were not wealthy, so I said, okay, well, uh, there was a Hyatt hotel there next to my college. I can walk. So we somehow I got to have an interview. Say, oh, well, we have a steward, dishwasher. So, okay, dishwasher it is. I'll wash dishes. I'll do anything. I just want to, make some money and pay for some of my expenses. So I got to start washing dishes with some wonderful people, and said, oh. So I said, I can do more than washing dishes. So after 6 months of washing dishes, I got tired of it. I said, okay, can I do something else? Can I go in the restaurant? I see all these people coming into the kitchen, talking about guests and talking about money and talking about experiences. I said, okay, I want to go there. So somehow I got into with the manager. I said, okay, well, let give him a shot. So I start bussing tables and then room service and at the hotel, and then banquet in the hotel. Just did my journey in that hotel, and it continued after that. I mean, I went, finished college. Then I got so lucky to be mentored by one of the best in the hospitality at a restaurant called Anton and Michelle. Still exists to this day after 40 some years, in Carmel. And funny enough, I'm going to go visit that restaurant next year with some of my club members. So I got lucky to be mentored by him. Anton Salami, his name. He was a graduate of Lausanne School from Switzerland. So he taught me a lot about hospitality, about service, about wine, about liquor, about management. About 3 years I was mentored under him. And then my journey continued really after that. Went to work for Sheraton in Monterey, and then worked for another beautiful resort in Southern California called Mission Inn Hotel. Then traveled to Michigan. I think I met you not so long after I moved to Michigan. We talked about different things, and I ended up at the Hilton Hotel in Novi, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was mentored under another leader. I think you know him. You probably both know him, Michael O'Callaghan. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
he mentored me on under a different set of circumstances. Talk about hotels, talk about management, hotel management, talk about financials, talking about different things about the community, about the business community. For about 5 years, I worked with him, and then it continued. Then during the downturn in the economy, I think I worked briefly at the Greenfield Village Henry Ford Museum for a couple of years. And I traveled to Dubai for a year, worked for another international hotel company, and then I went for Saudi Arabia for a year, and then traveled really all over the states, working for Marriott and Hilton in Seattle, Portland, and New York, and just come back to Michigan a few years ago with Marriott, and then luck has it I got to meet this beautiful family that owned the Lakeview Hills Golf Resort, a beautiful 280 acres of heaven, I call it.
Mm.
Resorts and hotel rooms, banquet, pavilions, and two golf courses. And so we did some amazing thing for the last 3 years now, 3 seasons. We created an icon now in a community called Emilio's Steakhouse restaurant. We won an award by for the best distinguished North American restaurants. We won
Wow.
award of excellence by Wine Spectator a couple times, and it's been a huge success. And weddings now, we went from 2 weddings a year that before we got there. Now we're doing 17 weddings. We want to do 100, of course.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
been an
great.
amazing journey. The key words here, I think, I want to really touch base on is mentorship by
Yes.
two great gentlemen that really showed me the way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
Fadi,
think mentor. Oh, go ahead, Eileen.
well, no, you go first. Sorry.
I think mentorship is just so important. And I don't think people sometimes take it as seriously. I know for myself, if I didn't have the mentors that I had in my career, I would not be where I am today. And you don't know everything in hospitality because it constantly changes, right? I also think those mentors can be of all ages. I mean,
Yeah.
Eileen, you and I talk about this a lot. I've learned from you, and
Yeah.
you've learned from me. And like it's just it's phenomenal. But Fadi, you've had two of the best. I mean, I can't even imagine just and now you're in a position where you mentor probably. I mean, I would think that's
Well, that's
Fadi,
that's my yeah. Go ahead, Eileen.
one of the things that you taught me, speaking of mentors, is that I remember one day we were at the Royal Park and I was like a banquet captain or whatever. And the kitchen was not giving us like the appetizers that we needed to tray pass. And they were all up on the hot boxes, like we could see them. And I was like, can I have them? And they're just like ignoring me completely. And you were like, you came in the kitchen and you're like, you need to throw a temper tantrum. Like you need to like be loud and get their attention and be like, you're giving them to me. So but it's so true, right? Like sometimes you've got to do that and like be a voice, have your voice. So you help me find my voice in those moments. And yeah, so mentorship is huge. I use that skill to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as young as you, Eileen. I'm in my 60s. Yesterday, I just want to give you a fresh mentor kind of moment. So I got this really super VIP group, 12 people. Okay, so we're talking about restaurants and kitchen and banquet. So, and I knew the people they were there the day before, and you both know. I mean, they were spending money. They're ordering Amarone, Silver Oak Cabernet.
mm,
I mean, we're talking about big guns. They're spending 300 bottle, $500 bottle of wine. So they come back the next day. They love it so much. And Emilio. So I'm working with a server. Not I wouldn't say young server. I mean, in her 30s. I said, okay, so I'm on the floor. I'm in my 60s. I'm the general manager. I'm not food and beverage director. I'm not a restaurant manager. I'm the general manager. But I knew this group is so important for the club. So I'm working with her. So toward the end, and I told her, I said, look, don't talk dessert. Don't talk dessert about this group because I knew they're going to order liquor. They're going to order after dinner drink. They're going to order port, cognac. I mean, I knew the group. I mean, I was talking to them. They were ordering wine, and I said, okay. I said, don't talk dessert until you clear everything on the table. That those people have to feel they are ready for dessert. That table has to look clean, no dirty glasses, no B&B plates, no silverware, nothing.
Yeah.
And she kind of like she jumped the gun a little bit. She started talking. So of course I let her talk. She told them, "Oh, Fadi can do flambe for you," and she's trying to sell them dessert about banana flambe and cherry jubilee. So anyway, I again mentoring is in a
Yeah.
positive way. I took her aside. I said, okay, take a look at that table. I said, I understand you talking about flambe and you're excited. Let's go ahead and continue that cleaning. So we did. Her and I did. Her and I good. Pick up those silverware, pick up the B&B plate, pick up everything on the table. Now it looks nice and clean. I said, now let's go grab that liquor cart. Let's talk about port. Now they're ready. Now they look around.
Yeah.
Oh, now they're mentally ready. They're looking around. They're nice and clean. So we
Yeah.
did. We sold them Grand Marnier 1880. We sold them through port. We sold them cognac. And then of course they said, yeah, we'll have 2 banana flambe and 2 cherry jubilee,
Mm.
and then other dessert. So that's what mentoring is you gotta be there with them for them, until they get it. I had
Yeah.
another server named Yvette. It took me really, to be honest with you, it took me 2 years for her. Now she's awesome. Now she got it. Now she's telling other people, hey, don't do this and don't do that. You gotta clean. You gotta do this. You gotta check on the people. So it's ongoing. The mentoring part is ongoing with me late at my age. I'm still doing it, but I enjoy it. I mean that's the part. People have to have passion for what they do.
Totally.
So mentoring that's what it is. It's teaching, is coaching in a positive way to hopefully this lady. I mean, she made a lot of money, Sue.
I can
A
imagine. I
lot of
was
money.
thinking
I mean,
about that, right?
a
Like,
lot of money. I mean, their bill was $2,500. So you can imagine, you can multiply it by 30%.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Fadi, you've had like a really interesting career kind of all over the United States, but all over the globe too. What are some of the common themes that you find, in Dubai or Saudi Arabia or Carmel or Michigan? What are some things that I guess vary in hospitality? Because I see that in my travels, different countries have different things that they focus on. What are some of the things that have stuck with you?
The thing that stuck with me is you have to connect with people on a personal level, not from far, not walking around, and thinking, oh, they all look good, they all look happy. Sometimes you can read it from their faces. Sometimes you got to talk with them. Sometimes, so I teach my staff is to engage with the customer within limits. Of course, I hate people over talking sometimes too. So you have to connect with people and say how you doing, and then if they feel like they're cared for and they feel that they're valuable, they're not just another customer having a drink or a dinner. So you have to connect with people, and that's my theme. Has been all my life. Is the Lord gave me that talent is to how to connect with people. So you got to learn how to do that. That's very important to the customers and to your business that you're in. That you have to
Yeah.
know how to connect with people on a personal level, and get to know them. I mean, I created a community now. I started this wine locker membership, and
Mm.
a lot of people are going to doubt you, by the way. So that's another thing I learned. You'll have a lot of doubters, and when you have
Mhm.
a lot of doubters, you know that you're on the right track, by the way.
Oh, I
So
love that.
you
I
know,
like, let's say that one more time because that is like a moment. That is so true.
Yeah.
It's say that one more time.
yeah, I mean, I've got experienced this so
Love
many times, Sue. It's like a lot of people are going to doubt you, and that's when
Yes.
you have to keep pushing, because
Yes.
you're on the right track. So when I
Yeah.
came up with this idea, and I looked around me at Emilio's and the clubhouse, and I looked at the community, and the ownership doubted me. Some, not all of them. You've met a couple of them, Sue.
Mhm.
So some of them say, "Oh, no way, this is Lexington." I've heard that word a lot, by the way. This is Lexington. This is Detroit. This is Michigan. This is a steak and potato town, whatever.
That's right.
Uh, all the people doubt you. I said, no, I mean, we got to do this. So thank God, one person within the family believed in that and said, well, let's do it. Well, it's going to cost so much money. I said, okay, don't worry. It's going to generate for us business and revenue for years to come for you. So we built the membership lockers. We built 24, okay? 24. They're all sold out right now, 24
Oh,
lockers. Okay.
such a great story.
So
We,
What can you
we,
tell us a little bit
more.
about the member, like the locker ship? Like
Yeah,
what does
so
that look like
so
from
actually,
experience?
Sue was so successful. We built another 18. Just to let you know. So
Wow.
another room. What we open up. I don't know if you've saw it on social media, called Virginia Table 1928. A gorgeous
Yes.
room. So we built 18 more. and those I only have 2 left to sell. So now I have about 40 membership. Okay, and I'm taking them on a tour next year to Paso Robles in Monterey, and on a
Oh,
wine trip. So this membership is, and that's what I told the family, and I told everybody that doubted me. I said that membership create loyalty to your club. They come here
yes.
now, they feel valued. I know everybody by name. They come here, they visit, they bring their friends. Oh, look at my locker, look at my name on the locker, and they bring other friends and other guests to come and experience Emilio's now, and they can have their own wine. We give them a 1 bottle of wine a month in the locker,
Hmm.
and then they pay $500 a year membership, and they got 10% off in the restaurant when they
Oh,
eat.
nice.
They got
Brilliant.
15% off of the bottle wine. So they visit Emilio for this reason to get 10% off and 15% off bottle. They can bring their own wine if they like, put it in the locker. We don't charge them corkish fee either.
Mm.
So it's been a great success. So a lot of people doubted me, and here we are now. Let's build more. Let's build more. I said, okay, we can build more later, but you know,
I think that operators and owners, it's not just a transaction anymore, right? It's not just sitting down and ordering food. The everyone is craving connection, like you said, craving even this membership, community, a sense of community, being part of a community. I don't know if COVID had something to do with that, but hotel operators, restaurant operators, country clubs, they all need to really look at their membership. And that's where you build loyalty, and that's
yes.
where you build connection, and you continue to grow your membership. I love that. That is such a success story.
I mean,
Congratulations.
people talk about, I've been reading a lot on LinkedIn and other publications. Oh, wine sales are down. You've seen those. Wine sales are
Yeah.
down. Wine sales are down. Liquor is down. People are not drinking. People are not drinking anymore. The new generation are not drinking. Like whatever. And what I say to them, I commented on a lot of these things.
Mm.
No, that's not true. It's because people now, they are very selective in drinking. They want a
Mhm.
story. They want
Mm.
a community. They want to be part of something special for them to drink, and that's what I
Yeah.
created with this membership. Now everybody know each other. We did an event yesterday. I'll show you some video later. I did a picnic on the vineyard yesterday. People know each other. They talk to each other. They're drinking more wine than ever. Now they're drinking. I had to go and get more wine for them to drink. So that's not true that people are not drinking, but they need some reason for them to drink besides just sitting in the bar to have a glass of wine, or have a glass of wine with dinner. They need a story. They need, even about the wine, tell them a story. Why Dow? What happened with Dow? Was Dow created? The 2 brothers from Lebanon, they came to America. Success story. They went to Paso, been to winery, you know, et cetera, et cetera. They need a story, and then the community feel, when about the membership. That was my idea. Is like, let's create a reason for them to drink.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Yes, right. It's simple. It really is a simple solution. Let's create a reason for people to drink and
Yeah,
engage, right? Yeah.
yeah,
I'm super
Yeah.
excited for hospitality in the future. And one of the reasons I'm excited for it is that connection, because as AI becomes more and more a part of our world, I feel like that connection in other areas of our lives is going to be even more at risk. And so I really think this is, hospitality has a huge opportunity in the next 5, 10, 20 years to really be that place where people come for connection, like those wine rooms, the lockers, just going over to your favorite restaurant, like that's where you're going to be getting that human interaction that's raw and real without any AI, or very limited. It'll be behind the scenes. You won't know it. And so I'm excited about this hospitality thing because I think it is going to be it always already is a really important part of our lives, but I think it's going to become even more valuable as we progress with AI.
I
yeah.
agree.
I mean, AI. I mean, I have ChatGPT plus whatever. So
Yeah.
what AI is going to tell you, yeah, in order for you to be successful, you need to connect with people, for instance. But he's not going to tell you how to do that. So yeah, connect
Right.
with people. Yeah, good luck. All right, go ahead, connect with people. That's what AI is going to tell you. Connect with people, you'll be successful. Connect with people, create experiences. But he's not going to tell you how to do that, or you have to really have some open mind and talk to people and connect with people in person and teach other people to do the same for the new generation to continue.
I agree. And I think, Fadi, I love what you said, the mentor moment, those mentor moments that all of us experience throughout our careers in making those connections and relationships. And, they continue to just be the driving force in hospitality and teaching this next generation. It's fine to be on your phone and have AI answer your questions and help with spreadsheets and, even the creative process, but the true human connection, making people feel special, intuitive service. You're not going to learn that from AI, right?
No, no.
No, but I think like the restaurants, people are going to look for opportunities to have those connections. And I think restaurants and country clubs and events are going to be that resource that people go to and that place where people can connect, like where we can teach people to connect. And it's going to be like people like you, Fadi, and you, Sue, that will put these together that understand the value of connection and hospitality. So I think it's really going to be a valuable like entity in our communities,
Yeah.
even more so than it is now,
I
because we're
agree.
attracting more and more of it.
And
And like what?
there's a financial benefit.
Yes.
I just gave you the story about these 12 golfers yesterday, how much money they spent, and the servers were like walking around on cloud nine. You know,
Yeah.
there's a financial benefit from all. Where people can still make a lot of money, doing this what they do, whether serving, bartending. I can tell you stories about how much my girls, my servers work down at Tin Cup, which is a little bar for golfers to hang out before they go golfing or after. It's a golfer bar. You know, a lot of
Fun.
times these girls walk out with $800 a day, Stu, in tip.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
800. One time she showed me, and she was in tears. So there's a lot, and she's a young girl. She's going to college as well. There's a financial benefit from doing this to connect with people and follow that path and then take hospitality seriously. There's a financial benefit. How many people they make $800 a day? In tips is unbelievable. I said, good
Yeah.
for you. I'm so happy for her. And that's not the first time she does that. They make 400, 500, 600, 300, 500, 800, and good for them. I love it. And
That is amazing. And financially, I agree. I think, as you progress through hospitality, like we all grew up and worked our way up in the industry. And there's so much opportunity to work your way up from a dishwasher. I mean, Fadi, your story is phenomenal. You start off as a dishwasher, you traveled the world. Now you're in this wonderful season in your career where you can mentor and share, and also you have a phenomenal position. You're able to really connect in so many levels. Can you tell us, Fadi, we've talked a lot about hospitality and your experiences, but is there one moment in your career that was just like an aha moment, an exciting opportunity that was through being involved in the hospitality industry? Can you kind of give us an inside look to maybe that and what people could potentially expect if they're starting out in their career?
um, the moment, I go back. I have a long career. 44 years now. So something. I'm telling you my age.
Yeah.
You know. Um, I look at the moment. I was working at the Rogue restaurant in Monterey, very busy restaurant. I was a busboy, so I was nobody, and a lot of we were all young. A lot of my coworkers were young, servers, bussers, whatever. I was a busser, and then the assistant general manager was sitting down having a meal, and again, hospitality was in my heart, that's part of me. So I went and really, I'm a busboy. I'm not a server. I took it up on myself. Everybody ignored it because assistant general manager, whatever, sitting down eating, whatever. I took it up on myself to go and kind of like serve her, even though I'm a busboy. I put her, took her plate out, cleaned her plate, whatever, the table, and she was so impressed. She looked up to me and thanked me. You know, I'm
Mm.
a little bus boy. Okay, I'm not a manager. I'm not a server at the time. Server was like gods at these days, by the way. Like, oh, you're a server. Like, you know, you gotta work. You have to bus stable for a year before you even be considered to be a server. So anyway, in that moment, she was so appreciative and so, you know, oh wow, look, Fadi, a bus boy, came and really served me and took care of me, whatever. She went and told the general manager. His name was Doyle Turner, an old army guy, very tough manager. And she told him, "Oh, look, you know, Fadi, you know, I mean, you know, he's a good personality. Maybe we should give him a shot to be a server." And sure enough, God bless him, he passed away. And I was talking to him up until a couple of years ago, Sue.
Mm.
He was in
Wow.
Seattle. He passed away. But anyway, he gave me a chance. He said, yeah, I mean, yes, Fadi looked good. You know, he's a good personality. Yeah, he's got an accent. It's not, that's good sometimes. So he went ahead and gave me the shot to be a server ahead of a lot of people, but ahead of me. A lot of people have been busboy for years, whatever. So he gave me the shot, and I never forgot that moment.
Mm.
That was an opportunity that I took, and of course, you know, I was a server for 5 years in that restaurant, made a lot of money, and you know, continue my journey with, you know, my college degree and all that from that restaurant. So that was a moment I still remember, and two moments really that were. Her name was Sue, by the way. Her name was Sue. I swear to God, but her name was Sue. And then that Sue, that, you know, she kind of like appreciated what I did, and then Doyle also took a chance on me. So sometimes you got to take your opportunity and then speak up and say and act yourself. You know, I was that
Yes.
was my personality. That moment for me, I still remember in my mind. I mean, I've had a lot of moments. You know, I've met Clint Eastwood. I've met a lot of people. You know, Stevie Wonder. All the people. A lot of great moments, right? You know, when I used to drink wine with Clint Eastwood when he was running for a mayor. You know, that
Mm.
was a great moment. All that, but that moment to me, you know, I know people think, well, okay, well, say somebody give you a shot, no big deal. But I still am in my mind though, for both for Doyle and Sue.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, and I think that, like, again, as operators, as owners, as leaders, looking at those individuals, this next generation who has that heart and soul, who has that passion, who wants to take care of people. It's not all
Mm.
about seniority and the longest person, you know,
Yeah,
who's been on the floor. Focus on those people, give them the shot. And then on the reverse side of it, take the shot, right? Take that
yeah.
shot and run
Take the
with
shot.
it, and
Yeah.
yeah, take it, because you never know where you'll end up,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's so fantastic. I love that. Oh my gosh, so great.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed connected with Doyle, like I said, until he passed away, because I was, and even his son. I swear to God to you, Sue. After he passed away, I sent my condolences to his son because I was in contact with him, social media, and his son sent me a message. He said, Fadi, I just want to let you know my dad really loved you, and he really was
Mm.
so proud of what you accomplished. You know, I told him, your dad gave me the opportunity, and I never forgot that
Yeah.
opportunity. You know, and anything I can do for you. He said, no, my dad was so, he kept talking about you, and he was so proud of you. Just let you know, that meant the world to me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
definitely
I want to mention one more thing, Sue. It's been on my
Great.
mind a lot, and I keep talking to other people about. So you and I on LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
And I so just to talk about starting as a dishwasher and busboy and working your way up and you know, travel and all that. You don't understand how many people on LinkedIn, there used to be vice president and president and CEOs, and they were my bosses, by the way, too. And they're out of work. They're not working.
Mm.
They're
Wow.
out of the game, you know,
Mm.
because they wanted to go to the top, and they did, you know, and now they're out of work. They're not working anymore. They you know, sometimes they comment on what I'm doing and all that stuff. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I'm still in the game, you know,
Mm.
after all these years, and I'm still valid, and I'm still contributing. I'm coaching, I'm mentoring, but that's that part of it though. That's part of it why I'm still valid, because I'm still doing what I want to do is mentoring people, teaching people, training. Even my age as a general manager, you think I should be in my office shaking hands and walking around my golf cart, on the driving range. But no, it's still in my passion
Yeah.
that I do this. And those people went to the top. They made a lot of money, I'm sure, but now they're out of work.
Yeah.
Because or whatever they thought they arrived. They did. I'm a vice president. I'm the president. I'm the CEO.
Yeah.
A lot of them, so no more than you know. You see the title on LinkedIn, but I know they're not working because I used to work for them. I used to make coffee for them. Okay,
Yeah.
one of them is I used to go
Wow.
do coffee to the office in Monterey. He's out of work. It's like
Right. There's so many like that, Fadi. I never thought about that, but yeah, there's so many people that are CEOs and yeah, VPs, and now they're looking for work and they look for work
yes,
for years.
And I
yeah,
Yeah.
think, managing from a spreadsheet, I always say, and I've believed in this, that the numbers follow, they do not lead. You lead by service, you lead by loyalty, you lead by culture. I mean, there's so many things, and then the numbers come. But in this world where there's private equity companies taking over the world, or these like third party management companies, and you've got that are extremely top heavy, what's missing is what we talked about, connection. And I'll never forget this story. I was general manager at a beautiful four-star hotel, Royal Park, actually. And we had someone from a competitor. And she was a delight. She was in the sales department. She was in her office one day, and I would do rounds, just like Fadi. I mean, I probably learned this from you because you were like the art of doing rounds and, being on the floor. But I would do my rounds as GM, and I would go in and talk to people and just ask them, like, how's your day going? How can I help? I remember this girl, she was in it probably a month. She looked at me with a deer in headlights and she just said, do you realize that you are the first general manager that actually came into my office, looked me in the eye, and asked me how my day was going and how can I help? And she
Wow.
worked for some phenomenal competitors. And I thought, these are some of my peers, our peers, Fadi. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Like, it is not rocket science. But that was a little bit of an aha moment for me, I have to say.
we call it MBWA. Management by walking around. That's what it is. I mean, you
That's
got
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Management by walking around. And it's getting, and now, yeah.
Yeah, like I must have learned it from you too. Like, because I don't ever sit either.
Right. Yeah. You can look at all those spreadsheets and sit in your office and strategize with your door closed all you want. But you know what? You're not going to get the pulse, the heart and soul of what's really happening in your operation. And that's piece of it that is missing. I'm so glad you brought that up, Fadi.
Yeah. Old
Good.
school grind, right, Fadi?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, you've been very generous with your time. We might even put this into two separate segments because it's so great. And we will also make sure that we put in all your information and show some beautiful pictures once this episode airs of your beautiful, Lakeville Country Club and all great work you're doing.
Before you end this, Sue, I know you gave me credit for one thing, whatever. I want to give you credit because I still use some of your really beautiful setup and catering that you've done in the past at Royal Park. I still use it. I still mention you sometime to my assistant. Say this is what Sue used to do. And the creativity that you've had in sales and catering is unbelievable. And the catering menu that you did with the wedding package that you've done in the Royal Park Hotel, that inspired me as well. Just let you know.
Well, thank you so much. I love how we can continue to inspire each other. Keep doing what you're doing, Fadi, because you are definitely a trailblazer. And we thank you so much for your time and all you do in the hospitality industry. So thank you, everyone, and for listening today. And if you have any questions for Fadi, feel free to post them in the notes down below.